All right, today we're jumping into one of life's deepest questions, and we're using the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita's 8th chapter as our guide. We're going to break down how you prepare for your final moment and what that teaches us about how to live right now.
I mean, this is the ultimate question, isn't it? It's the exact question the warrior Arjuna asks when he's at his most vulnerable, right on the battlefield. And his search for an answer is what sets the stage for a truly profound revelation. So it all starts with Arjuna's questions. The whole dialogue unfolds from this one moment of seeking. You have to imagine, the weight of the world is on his shoulders, and he's basically acting for all of us, pushing for some real clarity on life's biggest mysteries.
So he just lays it all out there. He asks about the nature of reality, about the self, about karma, about the divine. That last one, how can you be known at the moment of death? That's the one that really frames everything we're talking about today.
So how does Krishna respond? Well, he doesn't launch into some dense philosophical lecture. Not at all. Instead, he gives Arjuna a map, a practical, cosmic map of existence, a guide to understanding reality itself. He starts with this concept he calls that Brahman, the ultimate unchanging reality. And the whole point is that it's so fundamental, so vast, you can't really describe it with words or even grasp it with your mind. It's something you have to experience.
And then Krishna kind of lays out the different layers of this reality. You've got Ajatma, which is our true spiritual self, Adibhuta, that's the physical world all around us, Adidaiva, the subtle inner world, and then Adiyagna, the divine presence right inside you. It's like we're living in this multi-layered reality all at once.
Okay, but the real game changer here, the idea that just blows everything open, is this concept of Adhyayadna. It's this absolutely radical idea that you don't have to go searching for the divine in some far-off place. It's already here, living secretly inside your own heart. Right, so with that map of reality laid out, Krishna gets back to Arjuna's most urgent question. And this is where the stakes get incredibly high for every single one of us. He basically says that your entire next existence, everything you're going to become, all of it, hinges on the state of your consciousness in one single moment, the moment you leave this life. And this isn't just a suggestion or a maybe. The Gita is crystal clear on this. It's not about luck, it's not a roll of the dice. Your final thought directly determines, without fail, what you become next. It's like a law of physics, but for consciousness. But here's the real kicker. That final thought, it's not an accident. It's not something you can just whip up at the last second. It is the natural result, the sum total of how you have trained your mind and your heart throughout your entire life. All right, so if everything hinges on a lifetime of practice, then what is the practice? I mean, how are we supposed to prepare for this unpredictable moment? Well, Krishna's answer is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. He tells Arjuna, right there in the middle of a battlefield, to constantly remember the divine and get on with his duty. And that's the real challenge, isn't it? To keep that remembrance alive, especially when we're facing our own battles. And the good news is you don't have to go from 0 to 100. It's a gradual process. You can start small. Just offer your day when you wake up and before you sleep. Then maybe you start offering each big task. And over time, that practice just blossoms into this continuous, natural state of being. And when you start living like this, it completely flips the script on what life is all about. The focus shifts away from all the external stuff, the promotions, the achievements, the recognition, and it moves to your internal connection. The thing you're doing becomes secondary to the state of remembrance you're doing in it. So when you practice this, it leads to something really interesting. It completely redefines what it even means to be skilled or successful. The Gita shows us there are two very different kinds of perfection. So on one hand, you've got what we can call human perfection. This is what the world cheers for, right? It's driven by the ego, it's all about getting awards and recognition, and it only asks, how good was the final product? But the Gita points to something much higher, divine perfection. This is driven purely by the act of offering. It's about inner alignment, and the only question that matters is, was the action offered with remembrance? There is a story that just captures this perfectly. Imagine this. A technical expert looks at an essay, and all he sees are the flaws, the mistakes, so he fails it, gives it a D. But a spiritual teacher looks at the very same essay and gives it an A+. Why? Because she knew that with every single word he wrote, the writer was remembering the divine. The inner state was perfect, even if the outer form wasn't.
You know, when you really get this, when you operate from that place of divine perfection, things like worldly success, they just don't have the same pull anymore. It's like the poet Amal Kiran said, "Who cares for the Nobel Prize? All my poems I've shared with Shri Aurobindo." Once that inner connection, that offering is made, external validation just becomes irrelevant. And that really brings us to the final, and maybe the most important question for all of us to think about. When you look at everything you do, is the work itself the ultimate goal? Or is all of that work, your job, your projects, your ambitions, just the arena for the real work, which is your own inner evolution?